On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes. And we are back, you guys.
Just like last Thursday and
the Thursday before that.
And if memory serves correct, the Thursday before that even.
Oh, every Thursday.
We're just gonna come out with an episode on like a Saturday one day. Imagine.
Oh my God, the horror.
Imagine. Just really ruin your routine.
Yeah.
The power we hold.
Oh my God, you have been all over.
Oh, running around. I was in New York.
Uh-huh.
You watched Hot Dog for me.
I did. I don't know how you and everybody else who has a little dog, how you sleep with them, because I was so nervous about rolling over on her. You have no idea.
She kept saying, I was like, are you sure you're cool with watching her? You're like, yeah.
She's so easy and my dogs love her. And
you're like, I'm just really worried I'm going to roll over on her in my sleep.
Yeah.
I was like, you won't.
And she's such a snuggler. Like, she wants to be snuggled up right next to me. And it just scared me.
She does, but then like, well, I don't know if she did this at your house, but at my house, she'll come and she'll like kind of like pat to like let her under the blankets or whatever. And then when you let her under, she like crawls. She likes to burrow.
I wouldn't let her do that. I was like, because she kept trying to do that. And I was like, Junie, I was like, you can't do that. I'm too scared.
She just wants to like burrow. And so I let her do that. But then every time I wake up the next day or like every morning, she is sitting like sleeping on top of the blanket. So like she likes it, but then she moves. I don't know.
It was so nice though. Cisco was gone on business this time. So I was in my bed and I had a hot dog snuggled up next to me. Desi snuggled at my feet and Doris on the bed too. And it was just...
Doris is not a snuggler.
She's not a snuggler.
She's like a don't even breathe too hard near me or I'm gonna walk out of here.
Yeah, she gets annoyed when she sleeps. She'll snuggle for like a little bit and then she's like, okay, if you move a muscle, I'm fucking out of here.
Is this what people mean when they write us bad reviews? Like, all they do is fucking talk.
Yeah.
So anyways, I went to New York. New York was really fun. I saw Tyler Childers, which I didn't even know he was going to be in New York. I saw he was doing a show at Radio City Music Hall, which I had never been to. And I was like, I'm going to go.
How cool. Was it cool?
Yeah, it was super cool venue. I was in the city just for a couple days because I was going to a friend of mine's wedding in Lake George, which is 4 hours outside of the city. And that was wild, like very rural.
The Adirondacks, right?
Yeah, it was in the Adirondacks. And it was cool. It was really pretty.
Haley looked beautiful.
Yeah, my friend Haley and her husband are both really hot.
Yeah.
Everyone just kept saying that
They're
at the
gorgeous
wedding. They're like,
people.
Yeah, they're really hot. It was cool. And he's Sicilian. And they had one of those. I liked this. They had one of those big cheese wheels where they like spin the pasta in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
Yum. And then you came home to a full house.
I did. My sister and her husband and baby Leo and my sister's friend Allie were all here because my sister and Allie were going to the Taylor Swift concert, which I feel like has just taken over the entire world. I mean,
we were talking about it today with someone about the Swiftonomics or whatever.
Like the impact she has on the economy is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's cool.
So they were going, and my plan was never to go, but I was like, come stay at my house. That'll be so fun to even just get to hang out or whatever. But then, of course, last minute, I was starting to get like, I was like, well, everyone's going. Like everyone, I feel like, is going to this concert. And I keep seeing people post about it and talk about it. And they're like, even if you're not like a massive fan, like it's such a good show. And so last minute, I ended up getting a ticket. I got in the same section that my sister and her friend were in, which was like great seats. We were in the same row, but just like one section over from each other. So there was like 30 people in between us.
Yeah.
Too hard to try and ask people like, hey.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm cool. Like I do shit by myself all the time.
Yeah.
I was there and I was hoping that I would get seated next to someone
Fun.
who was ready to just fuck it up to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Right.
That was not.
Not the case.
Oh, no. No. Sat down and turned to this girl that was sitting next to me. And I was like, these seats are insane. I was like, I can't wait for the show to start. I'm so excited. Just fucking nothing.
Oh, no.
Not a smile. Nothing. She was also there by herself.
It could have been an opportunity to like have fun. And
I thought it was so rude. And then she sat on me at one point.
she sat on your lap.
Yeah, she sat on my lap. And even then, wasn't like, oh no, I'm sorry or anything.
No.
And I was like texting my sister. I was like, okay, the girl who won't talk to me just fully sat on my lap. She just like sat down and then sat back up and didn't even look back. I was like, damn, okay. We're not on a fucking plane, you know?
Right.
I don't want anybody to talk to me on a plane.
Right.
But we're at a concert. Have a good vibe about you. The girl to my left, though, she was fucking going hard.
Really? She
Going
was
hard.
cool.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
just kept staying over next to her.
Were there any empty seats?
No.
No.
Not an empty seat in the house.
That's incredible.
Crazy.
I know.
Her power is like incomparable.
I know. And she seems like a nice person. What she did for her whole crew. Like the $50 million or whatever.
Yeah. I think she's just fucking methodical. I think she's really intelligent.
Okay.
And I appreciate that. I like a good business person.
What do you mean by that, though?
I think that I'm sure she's nice. I feel like she'd be like, you're not getting in my fucking way of anything.
Good.
With anyone. Which
Yeah.
is how you have to be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Totally.
So.
Yeah. You know, being in this business. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Being in showbiz, we just know exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our show is we probably do similar
do-
number.
Yeah, good things for the economy.
The economy? The economy?
Honey.
We raised the economy in the United States, and nobody's talking about it.
At least 18 states we did.
I know one of you is a reporter, I'm sure. I know some of you work for probably news outlets. And it's just really weird that nobody's reporting on the obitchonomics.
I know.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. Let's talk
when are we
about
having
it.
that conversation?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that we went to several diners next to venues that we went to, and some G-offs were there.
We took a lot of Ubers.
Yeah,
Stayed in a lot of hotels.
we did.
There you have it.
Don't call us heroes.
But, you know, call a spade a spade.
Yeah, call it like you see it. Oh, also, I ran into a G-off on my way out.
Oh, no way.
Yes, and her name was Miel, I believe.
Okay.
And is coming to our show in LA, which will have already happened by the time
way.
this goes out. And yeah, I was like, cool.
Perfect prime example of the economy.
Yep.
Okay.
Of our unwavering star power. Can't keep them away.
Oh, can't do it.
Can't do it.
TMZ is ringing us and
Oh, they're always ringing us on the horn. They're like,
oh my God.
when's the next show going to be? And we're like, you're going to have to wait just like everyone else. No leaks coming from over here.
Well, I almost decked somebody in Chipotle today.
Shit. Were you at the Rude Chipotle?
No, I was at a different one that I've never even been to. And this woman was just fucking rude from the jump on her phone. She was talking so loud.
Why? Why do people do that?
I don't fucking know. She was rude to the person making her Chipotle bowl, and she was talking to someone also on the phone, giving him orders. And then she has the nerve. I thought she was rude from the jump because she didn't hold the door or any, like she just let the door slam right in front of me. And like, she was just fucking rude in her own little world. Then she had the nerve to tell one of the managers at Chipotle that the guy helping her was giving her attitude. And so I jumped in and was like, no, he was not giving her any attitude. She was the rude one.
Good. You know what? People need to be put in their fucking place more.
Yeah.
Don't be rude to people doing their jobs ever.
I know. Don't be an asshole.
Speaking of assholes, I've got some wild ones for us this week. I actually have 3 Am I the Assholes for us, and 2 are related, and this first one is not at all, but, sometimes we like to venture.
Okay.
And it says, am I the asshole for telling my friend he isn't Patrick Bateman?
Ooh, that's scary.
Patrick Bateman,
American Psycho. Yeah.
Okay. This person wrote, I don't use Reddit at all, but I made one just for this because I feel like I'm going crazy. I, Jean, 21, have a friend, Patrick, 21, who I've known for a while. I met him on my college campus around 2 years ago, and it's only recently that we got closer. We've been talking a lot more lately because we've been talking about video games, stuff like that, and he's cool. Now, recently, because I knew he was trying to get into movies, I recommended American Psycho to him because it's a favorite movie of mine, and I think it's a great satire on 80s Wall Street stuff. Mm-hmm. What follows isn't a joke, and holy shit, I wish it was. Flash forward to the next day, and I meet up with him for lunch, and he's wearing kind of formal clothing, and I asked him if he had a class thing to dress up for, and he said, no, I just felt like it. I don't care if we go on with the day. I had no idea. This was part 1 of his Patrick Bateman-ification. It's like for the next few days, he just transforms.
Oh, no.
First, I find out he's investing in stocks.
Oh, no.
Next, I find out he's trying to go to fancier bars to pick up girls, and now he's eating at way fancier restaurants. He is privileged income-wise, but he was never like this. He's basically going out in full suits every day. And normally I wouldn't give a shit, but it's like he started to see everything as second best, including me. He's been neglecting a lot of his hobbies, school stuff, and even friends that we mutually have. He's been talking to me less, which I didn't mind, but when we do hang out, it's like he dismisses some of my comments or interrupts me a lot more mid-sentence, and not an accident like usual. When he says bye to me, it's like he's hurrying up to go away from me like I'm annoying him. His excuse to leave a lot of the time is he's checking on stocks and meeting up new girls or something.
Ew.
I eventually confront him about this, not aggressively, but I'm like, hey, you've changed it up a lot, and I feel like it's caused a rift in our friendship. And he then goes, Patrick Bateman inspired me to become a better person, and I don't think you're someone I should be friends with.
A better person? He was a killer.
I can't lie. I go berserk telling him that he's just throwing away our friendship and how he's not gotten his priorities straight and how Patrick Bateman isn't even supposed to be a good guy. He's not Patrick Bateman and shouldn't be. And then he gets mad, storms off, and keeps messaging me about how I was mean to him or whatever. Now I'm having second thoughts. Am I the asshole here? Seriously asking because maybe I'm not seeing his view, even if it's based off of Patrick Bateman.
No, you're not the asshole.
I was laughing so much when I first read it because I'm like, well, first of all, I was horrified because I felt like the Patrick Bateman guy is going to be so embarrassed about that later on in life.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a phase.
Uh-huh. I think we all know the feeling of like you see a movie and you're like, I want to fucking be like that.
Yeah, you get inspired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother thing. Imagine if we watched American Psycho the next day, you just showed up to record and you were like in a full suit. You're like, yeah, just, gotta listen to Huey listen.
Yeah. We watched Grey Gardens and I'm going more in that direction. So.
Oh, shit. Okay, this next one says, am I the asshole for telling my sister about our father's funeral? I, 21, female, am the youngest of 6 siblings. We just lost our father after a long battle with severe chronic illnesses, and we're all going through a rough patch. I was very close to my sister Iris when I was a kid. Our family is religious, and when Iris was outed as gay at the age of 17, my parents and the entire family disowned her and kicked her out. They even sat Shiva for her, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. We were all forbidden.
Wait, they sat Shiva for her and she's alive?
Yes. We were all forbidden from having any kind of contact with her, and I tried many times to be the catalyst for a reunion, but my parents disagreed with me. Iris also didn't try and contact us. When my father was ill, I asked my mom for permission to tell Iris because she deserved to know. She wouldn't let me. Now that my father has passed, I could no longer hold it in me. I found Iris's workplace and called her office and told her the news. She was clearly very sad, but thanked me for letting her know and said she'd be coming for closure. She is married to a woman and has a son and daughter. but said she'll come alone for the funeral. Iris showed up alone for the funeral, and her wife waited for her in the car, didn't even get out. My family was furious, both with me and with Iris. They all said that it was wrong for me to tell Iris because my dad wouldn't have wanted her there. I feel like such an asshole for causing all this drama, and I need an impartial opinion. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole.
Your family's the asshole.
Your family sounds like a bunch of bigots.
And cultists.
Yeah.
I understand religion and I understand how people choose to live their life a certain way and follow certain religions. But I'm also like, can we go to the real world for a second? Like, you're just being an asshole under the guise of following.
Yeah. You're going to disown your own flesh and blood
Never in my life.
because of someone they love. It's wild.
Wild to me.
Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. Your family is.
Uh-huh. I don't think Iris is the asshole for going either. Like, I think it proves that she's the bigger person by being like, yeah, I'm still going to go. Even though my dad was an asshole, even though he kicked me out, I'm still going to go.
And she wasn't like, I'm going to go with my wife and my kids and show them. Like, it seemed like she genuinely was
Trying to respect their
yeah.
beliefs or whatever. So, no, family's the asshole.
God, when I hear these stories, it feels so old to me, but you know what I mean? I'm like, how are we still dealing with this?
Religion is so old, and a lot of the religions being practiced are so old and dated that people pick and choose from the aspects they want to follow and don't follow from it such a long time ago. Because there's so much shit in the Bible that people do not fucking follow, or whatever book it is, whatever religion it is. It's only the stuff that's convenient.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear mongering too.
Uh-huh.
And it is what it is.
Please.
We're going to get into it later, actually.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Okay, but this last one says, am I the asshole for canceling appointments for somebody who refuses to use their own email address? I get hundreds of emails a week for two people that share the same name as me. One in Ohio and one in Ontario.
I get them all the time.
Do you?
Me. Yes.
While one is much worse than the other, it is out of control for both of them. Not spam mail, but real stuff that you typically would want to see if it was sent to you. Today alone, I got an appointment reminder for a dermatology appointment, a plastic surgery appointment, the school bus schedule, a payment reminder for electricity, and the worst one, burial information for some dude named Ralph for his funeral on the 15th.
Oh, no.
I have both of their addresses since I also get the Shop app delivery notifications for one and UPS for the other. I have sent both snail mail and also have sent emails to what should be the correct email addresses for the people that were kind enough to provide them, and neither of them responded. While this might sound like a minor annoyance, it really isn't. I'm constantly having to verify these things that aren't intended for me. Half the stuff I want to sign up for, I can't because it says my email's already in use. I mean, I'm kind of like, get another email then.
Yeah.
Like, you could choose something. You don't have to use your name.
I love getting emails from people that that aren't me but are supposed to be me or whatever.
It says, today I had enough and I canceled a dermatology appointment for this woman's kid, I assume, and a Botox appointment off of the appointment reminders that I got in my email.
Why would you cancel it?
Am I the asshole? Obviously, they don't really care, but maybe they will if I start wasting their time too.
They're an asshole.
You think so?
Yeah. Don't do that.
But they've like reached out. This person has made effort. They hand wrote letters and emailed their other emails and were like, please, can you change this?
What are they going to do? Change the email? There's something.
I don't know. I kind of liked how petty this person was. That they were like, I'm going to cancel your appointments then. All right. Well, I am up first this week. You got a little side bitch for us?
I do. And this is an old obituary from 1878 from The Independent. And it was beautiful and just creepy. Like, I read it and was like, whoa. So it says, Willie, a bright little daughter of Captain T.W. Walton, died at her father's residence near Roanoke on the 14th of January in the 7th year of her age. Little Willie had been sick a long time, yet she bore her affliction with all the patience and fortitude of one much older. On the day of her death, she called her little brothers and sisters around her and divided among them her toys, telling them that she was going to die, and for them not to quarrel over the toys. She requested her father to remain with her during the day, informing him that she would not live to see another. She lingered until 7 o'clock in the evening without the least apparent change in a perfectly conscious condition, talking to those around her. She counted the strokes as the clock told 7, and when it was finished, she turned to her father and said, "Pa, I will never hear the clock strike again. Give me an apple." The apple was given to her, and after eating it, she began talking of dying, expressing a great aversion to being put under the ground after death. She was assured that only her body was buried, that her spirit left the body and went to heaven. This seemed to give her great relief, and again, addressing her father, she said, "Is Ma watching for me?" And being assured she was, she said, "Turn me over then and let me die." She was tenderly turned on her side, and in another moment, the spirit of little Willie had flown to join her dear mama over the river. The clock told 8 all the same, but little Willie never heard it. She was dead.
Wow.
So she had been sick for a long time, but she knew on that day,
wow.
I am gonna die before 8 o'clock. I will never hear that clock again.
Incredible.
I know.
God.
I got the chills from reading it and then reading it again.
It's
fuck.
I know, full chills.
Oh, well, should we take a little break and then see what had just been in your coffin?
I think we should. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Okay, hear me out. My coffin spinner is a little out there this week. After you fell down in my driveway last week, I started looking into the history of Life Alert, and I was half expecting...
Oh!
Yeah, I wanted to find some, incredible backstory and the origins and everything. I was like, who was the first one who fell down and couldn't get up? But there was nothing really there. I saw it was it came out in the late 1800s or something, the first type of life alert system.
Wow.
But that was all I really got.
Okay. It wasn't an inspirational.
No, their website is still very early 2000s. It was giving infomercial, but it led me down this rabbit hole reading about different security devices, and suddenly I had the thought, who created the panic room?
Oh, creepy to me.
Yeah, so a panic room, sometimes called a safe room, is by definition a fortified room that is installed in a private residence or business to provide a safe shelter or hiding place for the inhabitants in the event of a break-in, home invasion, tornado, terror attack, or other threat. And safe rooms usually contain communications equipment so that law enforcement authorities can be contacted. Mm-hmm. And I was less interested in the natural disaster tornado vibe, more so curious about the in-home systems, because they're very ominous to me. The idea that there's just this room in your house that's sole purpose is in the event of something terrifying happening, you would go in it.
Yeah, because I think of natural disasters. I think of a storm.
Like a basement.
Yeah, a basement or
a storm drain.
Not a storm drain. What are they called? They're called a
storm shelter.
Like a shelter. Yeah. But when I think of a panic room, I think of
a little room in a house.
I think of a rich woman's closet.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna get into it. I also started thinking about the Brendan Fraser movie we watched not that long ago. What's that called?
Blast from the Past.
Yeah, where they go down and then they come up years later. I also always thought safe room and panic room, I kept seeing them used interchangeably, but according to fortifiedestates.com, the terms panic room and safe room are often confused. However, the term panic room indicates a room set up to repel intelligent human attacks, such as from a home invasion or opportunistic burglar, whereas a safe room is a broader term, often refers to storm protection, such as from tornadoes or hurricanes. And I did learn that most people have their panic rooms in their bedroom closet, which makes sense.
Oh.
If an intruder came in during the night, you'd want to be as close as possible to it.
Right.
But then I was like, what if you have kids? Would you put one in the hallway near their bedrooms? How does that go? What do you do? Is there different...
Do they have separate panic rooms?
I feel like most houses that have a panic room only have one.
Yeah.
So I guess you would run and try and get your kids and then bring them back.
Yeah.
That was my first thought. I'm like, what's going on? But it also made sense to me because most people I know that have safes in their home are in their closets always, I feel like.
Right.
And so I guess keeping everything just in one place.
Yeah.
But do you remember when Sandra Bullock called 911 from her panic room.
Yes. What's the full story there?
For those of you who aren't familiar, I wanted to pull up the full story. It was like early morning hours of June 8th, 2014. Sandra Bullock, the actress, called 911 after seeing a stranger in her home. And according to an article from CBS, the fear in Bullock's voice on the 911 call was palpable. She tells the dispatcher that she had locked herself in a closet behind a safe door and contacted police. She said she woke up to loud banging and saw a man in dark clothing walking through her house. All I saw was like this dark sweatshirt and dark pants going up the stairs to my attic, Bullock told the dispatcher. The man, her accused stalker named Joshua Corbett, was carrying letters to the actress when he was apprehended in her home, describing graphic sex acts, and police found a cache of weapons when they searched his home.
A stalker is a whole nother story. That's even scarier than just like a robber or whatever.
Yeah. Police later learned that Corbett had been casing her house for days. The case against Corbett was put on hold in January of 2017, 3 years later, because of doubts over Corbett's mental competence. And last March, a judge lowered his bail but ordered Corbett to stay at a mental health treatment center in Tarzana. In May of 2018, Corbett, 42, was found dead in an apparent suicide in his home in La Crescenta. He had been involved in a standoff with a SWAT team for hours after police tried to serve a warrant. I mean, it's terrifying.
Wow.
And I think, like, if I was famous, I would probably have a safe room. Like,
Absolutely. If I had the means to have one, why not?
I mean, you and I are so paranoid anyways. We do what we can. We say it all the time, but our houses are truly like Fort Knox. Because we have any type of lock you can imagine in everywhere. I mean, I told you I have the crazy one on my door in my room now. And also, Geoffs, let us be your parents for a second. Even if you're not paranoid, please replace the screws on your doors at home with extra long screws, because that's always the first thing that I've been told.
Yes.
It's like the deadbolt screws or whatever, because they always use like the little ones. No, you have to fucking drill in an extra long. When I was reading the Sandra Bullock story, though, it reminded me of another story, and I'm not going to name this person because I don't think this story ever went public, but someone, do you remember this? She lives in LA. She woke up, she found someone in her house, and they had a knife. And she was home alone at the time, like laying in bed with her kid. She had her son in the room with her, and she like looked over and saw this man just standing in her bedroom. I mean, that's everyone's fucking.
And she like rolled over and pretended to be sleeping and called 911.
Yeah.
How do you ever sleep again?
I mean, I have not had anything like that happen. And I think in that case, it was probably a stalker situation as well. But I know, and I'm sure I've talked about it on one of the shows, but I had somebody break into my apartment one time and like try and come over or whatever. And even then, it's such a scary feeling to try and sleep after something like that happens.
You feel violated.
The fuck?
Yeah.
And there's just so many weird people.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's scary. Like when you live in like a city or something and someone shows up at your house, it's one thing. I feel like it'd be scarier if you lived somewhere that was more rural.
Yeah.
Like out in the middle of nowhere. Like,
oh my God.
Well, I was talking to my friend Carolyn about that because she always lives in very, well, now, not right now, but the last place she was living in was very remote. And like mountains. I was like, do you ever get scared that there's just no people around? She's like, I'd be more scared if I saw a person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
I remember I was always told, don't be afraid of the dead, be afraid of the living. And that's true. Like I wouldn't be afraid of haunted shit. Like I would be afraid of a real life person.
Oh my God. Scary. I wanted to learn more about the actual origins of the panic room, and it turns out they've got a lengthy history. I read this article on How Stuff Works that said, quote, panic rooms can be traced as far back as ancient Egypt. Secret rooms were built within the ancient pyramids to protect an entombed pharaoh's treasures from thieves. However, in terms of safety for the living, the idea of the panic room began with castles. The castle keep, which is a room located in the deepest part of the castle, was designed so that the feudal lord could hide during a siege. Priest holes, another precursor to the panic room, were designed to hide Catholic priests during the 17th century when persecution of Catholics was at its height in England.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
In the United States, we can trace panic rooms to the Underground Railroad in the 1800s when secret rooms hid enslaved people that were trying to hide. In the 1920s, hidden rooms stashed prohibition-banned booze, and safe rooms for weather protection have their origins in storm cellars. Think Dorothy and and The Wizard of Oz. The features of the modern panic room are mostly derived from fallout shelters during the 1960s, which were created in response to the fear of nuclear attacks. The modern residential panic rooms began appearing on the West Coast about 25 years ago. In fact, panic rooms are evolving into safe cores, which include a fortified section or floor in newly constructed residences. While some may laugh off panic rooms as money pits that placate the fears of the wealthy and the paranoid, modern panic rooms are increasing in popularity among those desiring security in a post-September 11th, post-Hurricane Katrina, and post-Enron world. They are the ultimate gated community. And then I also saw, this was just on like the safe room or panic room Wikipedia page, but they were talking about how they have safe rooms on ships to avoid pirates.
Oh, fuck. I forget that pirates are still a thing.
It said safe rooms on civilian ships, sometimes called citadels, are increasingly being installed as a countermeasure against piracy. When attacked, the crew can retreat into the safe room and call for help. Because of the nature of ship construction, the safe room is typically constructed in a concealed location within a void within the ship to resist efforts by pirates to find the crew before help arrives. Safe rooms sometimes have facilities to allow the crew to remotely disable the ship's engines and electronic systems, making it impossible for the pirates to sail the ship to a location that they control.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking nuts?
That is nuts.
You know what I would love? If you had a safe room in your house and you could like lock yourself in it, but you could also lock all the doors and windows so the person breaking into your house
they have that.
like couldn't get out either.
Yeah. Turn off all the lights or like, yeah.
Or like flash red lights or something. Like, get ready.
Let's play.
This safe room is also typically armored against direct physical attack to allow the crew to remain safe for a few hours, even if located by the pirates, and to allow rescuing forces full scope for the use of armed force to retake the ship without any risk to the crew. The effect of a safe room is thus to deny the pirates access to the crew for hostage taking, to remove the capability to move the ship to a location favorable for the pirates, and to facilitate retaking the ship by armed forces without risk to the crew. The retreat of the crew to a safe room could encourage pirates to leave the ship of their own volition. Safe rooms have been used as a defensive measure in ships threatened by piracy in Somalia as well. In 2010, 4,185 seafarers had been attacked and 1,090 taken hostage, but 342 were kept safe in one of these citadels.
Wow. I wish I could safe room my whole house.
I know. Well, we'll probably eventually have to.
Yeah.
The crazier the world gets, my God. So I really love learning about pirates, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I love, like, it feels camp
It's
to me.
campy.
They're still pirates.
Totally.
They just don't dress like they used to, you know?
Yeah.
Not, I picture like the red and white, like, stripe.
A peg leg and
Yeah. No one's doing it like they
a
used
hook
to.
arm and a parrot on their shoulder.
Yeah.
God, have you seen that video of, I think it was Navy SEALs? There was like a drug cartel submarine, and the Navy SEALs rowed their boat up to it because it was surfacing and hopped on the submarine. This is in the middle of the ocean, and started banging on the like door to open it. And so the guys opened it up and they were like, you know, it was like a whole thing, but they literally were like surfing on this submarine, basically.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
I feel like they just wanted to ride it because they were like, I'm like, why not just wait for it to surface somewhere?
I think maybe because it's U.S. territory still or something.
Yeah.
And if I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
With the ocean, I know. That's why people go fucking missing on cruises and shit. There's no
She's
jurisdiction.
just doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, according to The Hollywood Reporter, there is a high demand for safe rooms. The demand is on the rise. More and more people are getting them. It says amid crime concerns, wealthy homeowners seek to install panic rooms, with some steel-encased versions running up to $1 million to build, while one Malibu project included a secret tunnel out to the beach.
Whoa. I think of The Purge, all the things on the windows go down.
I would love to have that.
I know, me too. Seriously, I would feel so safe.
I would love to live in fear to that level.
I know.
They talked to this guy for this article named Dean Cryer, who's the VP of International Operations at Building Consensus / Panic Room Builders, a firm that specializes in the building of safe rooms. And he says our influx of inquiries has increased more than 1,000% over the past 3 months. It's gone insane. And this article is from last year. In the LA area, some houses selling for as low as $4 or $5 million are being kitted out, particularly spec homes. I think they're not something that in an immediate sense increases value, says Douglas Elliman real estate agent Greg Holcomb. But when a buyer is interested in the house anyway, I think it does help boost some interest. I mean, I would love it.
I think it's a total selling point.
Real estate agents, though, can never tell casual buyers or appraisers the exact location of a safe room. Often they can't mention its existence at all until the property is under contract, which I like.
I like that too.
You never know who's potentially casing a house. The last thing you want to do is show them, hey, here's the panic room and here's how you access it, says John Groman of the agency. Holcomb likewise has had to keep mum. We once had a property and an appraiser come and was measuring the home and they could not figure out why there was just this kind of dead space, he says. And we weren't allowed to tell them what it was. They just had to assume it was dead space when in fact behind a secret panel was a safe room.
Wow.
I think they're cool.
I do too.
In business for 25 years, Building Consensus / Panic Room, which consulted on a movie called Panic Room, builds various safe spaces ranging in security levels from 1 through 8. Safe rooms at level 3 may be protected with Kevlar, while a level 8 is encased in thick steel. Just the doors can be 2,000 to 3,000 pounds, says Cryer.
Whoa.
And then we're installing steel within the room, so we're generating up to 10,000 pounds per room.
Wow.
Prices range greatly. You could kit out a small closet for about $100,000 to $150,000, and then it's north of there. We've done one in London that had 2 rooms, full suites, and that was over $1 million, says Cryer, who says the company's client base consists mostly of billionaires.
Yeah.
Of course. Most rooms are opened with biometrics, usually a finger or retina scan secreted behind a bookcase or hidden wall, and come equipped with panic buttons that automatically call security services. Cryer says the firm collaborates with security guards and former officials in law enforcement to constantly improve impregnability. There's also an emphasis on comfort. It's gone from a steel-cold room where it's a bunch of cameras, Cryer says. Now it's a more serene feeling. We say it's an everyday use room, which when needed could be turned into a safe haven. So you wouldn't know what room in the house was the safe room.
Oh.
That I like a disguised safe room.
I like that too.
Like if we were in the office right now and I was like, but secretly there's a fucking steel door.
Yep. I love that.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like you're already going to feel traumatized if you have to seriously use the safe room. Why not be in a comfy space? I do wonder about bathrooms.
Maybe the bathroom.
Maybe the bathroom
The
is.
safe room.
Okay. We'll never know.
We'll never know. Can't tell ya.
We'll never tell ya.
Yeah, because you're just trying to case us. Is what you're trying to do.
My whole house might be the safe room.
Well, they said in that article, they said some safe rooms are designed with all the benefits of an upscale den. We've seen them be fitted with a bathroom, some with outlets for cable TV and surround sound. Some are also used as storage rooms for valuables, and the fanciest safe rooms have toilets with HVAC systems separate from the rest of the house. Within the room itself, you could be in there for up to 24 hours. I mean, it depends where you are in the world, and in most of LA, you could be waiting for a couple of hours before the police get to you.
It's scary that these things exist, but I think it's cool.
Some panic room owners are not waiting on the police to arrive, instead taking matters into their own hands. Hartunian, who also works for the agency, recalls one house he saw in the Hidden Hills, and he said, I think there was more artillery in there than probably one of the bunkers of the U.S. Army, he says. There were packs of food that wouldn't go bad for 2 years. There was a television, microwave, small bathroom. I mean, it was like a little self-sufficient, almost studio apartment.
Imagine being that wealthy that an intruder breaks into your house and you can just boop and then not even feel it. Watch a movie with surround sound while it gets handled.
I mean, I'm not even as interested in that as I am this one. It says, we've even done bunkers and tunnels. We've done a project out in Malibu where they wanted a secret tunnel out to the beach so they could escape like a secret bunker.
Whoa.
That's like money, baby. Like,
I wonder, like, does it dump out into the ocean? Like, what?
I don't know.
Or is it disguised as like a city tunnel? I don't know.
It's just fucking I mean, it's crazy. It's like you don't want to live in a world where we have to have safe rooms, but I'm also like,
But we do.
yeah, it's scary.
It is scary.
I think that about a lot of things. I'm like, how is there not like I feel like all glass should be impenetrable now. And like I think it should be like a thing that like houses have. But then there's probably reasons you would need to break them. Like if there's a fire, I don't know.
And it is like in the grand scheme of things, like $100,000 for a closet with like the amount of steel and the technology and everything for a safe room. Okay, that sounds okay, but like it should be more accessible to everybody for everybody to feel safe. So that's kind of the
draw.
Scary thing. Yeah.
So that should be life's motto. It should be work hard so that you can be safe.
So you can have a safe room.
So you can have a closet made out of steel.
Ooh.
She doesn't want diamonds. She wants
Seriously.
a safe room. A panic room. I said, honey, any room's a panic room when I'm in there because I am panicking okay, all the time.
I know.
I'm always panicked, honey. Okay. Well, speaking of, we're going to go scope out where to put a safe room in my house. And when we come back, we'll have you do something for us. Maybe do a little song and dance for us, a little spin in your coffin.
Do a little spin.
Okay. We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Geoffs, would you like to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?
Maybe later.
Okay, or maybe you already have. Or maybe you're waiting to do it on your deathbed.
Oh.
I don't know if I'll ever do it, but I do have a list of people who converted their religions on their deathbeds, and I can't wait to share it with you all.
I love this. I feel like a lot of people do become religious or start going to church when they get older because they're like,
I know. Well, it's scary.
Catch me in the confessional on.
Oh my God. Confessing all your sins.
Oh my God. This was sitting for a long time.
So there's a legit term for this, and it's called deathbed conversions. And we've covered deathbed confessions, but never the conversions.
No.
So let's get to it.
It's giving like posthumous baptism.
Totally. Vibes. A little earlier.
Just a little before.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, you're still covered even if you die.
Yes, you've seen the after, but we're going to show you the before now.
Exactly. Join Cake explains a deathbed conversion as, quote, a religious conversion that takes place in one's final moments of life. The idea of mortality isn't easy to grapple with. When people feel the end is near, they are likely to look for answers. Most of these answers are provided by religious sources. The discussion around deathbed conversions is usually in relation to Christianity. It refers to either the immediate change of belief, formalizing long-term beliefs, or finishing an ongoing process of conversion. Within the Christian church, there's a lot of rhetoric and storytelling around instances of last-minute conversions upon one's deathbed. It's easy to see why many would be compelled to convert to Christianity in their final moments as a way to ensure safe passage to heaven.
Yeah.
Right? But what if you're not on a literal deathbed in the last moments of your life? Like, what if you're out and you are, get into some horrific accident or, like you're not preparing for your death? Well, in most Christian faiths, anyone is able to baptize you. That person doesn't even need to be baptized themselves. And I read that this is sometimes done among nurses and doctors when like a newborn doesn't make it in the hospital. So for instances like that, you don't necessarily need a priest. Anybody can kind of do it as long as they follow the Trinitarian baptismal formula, which is in the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. So I've got a couple famous people who converted on their deathbed that I want to talk about. And I want to start off with Doc Holliday because I actually read his obituary here in a very early episode. A refresher, he was a dentist in the Wild Wild West and was friends with Wyatt Earp and was part of the OK Corral gun battle. He died in 1887 of tuberculosis, and something funny to kind of link back to that episode where I talked about the OK Corral and Boot Hill cemeteries. I talked about where the name Boot Hill came from and like the saying dying with your boots on. So in the hospital, he was in bed with no shoes on. And so I guess a nurse overheard him and he was like looking down at his feet and was like, well, this is funny because he didn't die with his boots on. It's just ironic. Anyway, his deathbed conversion was actually written about in his obituary, and it says that he was baptized in the Catholic Church right before he passed. I guess he became friends with a Catholic priest and was open to all of his teachings of the Lord, but there are no records of his baptism. So this is an alleged conversion. However, maybe it was just sort of unofficial.
Yeah.
Next, we have Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill's a name I've always heard, but like never really looked too much into. But he was best known for his shows in the Wild West called Buffalo Bill's Wild West, which was like a live action, pretty problematic Wild West show. And it toured all over the world and it was a huge hit. But he was also the founder of a town in Wyoming named Cody. Cody is his real last name. He died on January 10th, 1917 of kidney failure in Denver, Colorado. During his life, he was allegedly a Freemason since the 1870s. However, the day before his death, he was baptized into the Catholic Church. But then, after his death, he went on to have a huge Masonic funeral. And what's interesting about that is that from like 1738 to 1983, if you were Catholic and were also part of the Freemasonry, you'd be excommunicated from the Catholic Church. So we don't know where he ended up going because he was a Freemason, then baptized Catholic, then had a Freemason funeral. So we don't know, but we do know that he converted to Catholicism on his deathbed. But his funeral is very interesting, and the stuff surrounding it is really interesting. So his funeral was held a few days later in Denver, and reportedly thousands of people came to pay their respects, and his body was held in the state capitol, and it was like a huge ordeal. He wasn't buried until June, so like 6 months later, because of the harsh winters, and he wanted to be buried at Lookout Mountain in Denver, and I guess getting him there in the winter, like it wasn't going to happen. There are some conspiracies around his burial place, though. So apparently many of his friends from Cody, Wyoming were pissed that he wouldn't be buried there and instead buried in Denver. So the American Legion put out a $10,000 reward stating that if you bring Buffalo Bill's body back to Wyoming, we'll give you $10,000.
Oh, shit.
Just a whole feud between Denver and Wyoming over Buffalo Bill's burial place.
I also think of Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs.
I do too,
whenever I
yeah.
hear the name.
Totally. So many people think that maybe his body was switched and is actually buried in Cody, Wyoming, not in Denver. But anyway, he converted, and a lot of things popped up about his embalmer that I want to revisit in a future episode because his embalmer has a very interesting history.
Oh, shit.
I know. Okay, next we have Oscar Wilde. I think we probably all know who he is. If you don't, he's the poet and author from the 19th century, very famous. He was baptized Anglican when he was a child, but his mom was, quote, drawn to Catholics and had priests teach her kids about Catholicism, according to churchpop.com, which I spent a lot of time on churchpop.com writing this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wasn't he gay?
Oh, we'll get to that. That article from churchpop.com says that he kind of flirted with Catholicism throughout his life and considered it again in college. He became a Freemason when he was in college, and we know it was frowned upon to be Catholic and a Mason, so he stuck with Masonry. And then in his 20s, he met the Pope and really started to flirt with the Catholic Church again, but his family, mainly his father, was against it, so he didn't join. Later in his life, he went to prison for 2 years because he was accused of committing homosexual acts.
The worst kind.
The worst kind. So I guess he was actually suing this guy, Marquess, because Marquez accused Oscar of having an affair with his son. And so Oscar Wilde sued Marquez for libel and lost. They had evidence that supported Marquez's claims, and homosexuality was illegal at the time in England, which was where he was living. He was sentenced to like hard labor or whatever, so he was in jail for 2 years. In the same article, it says, quote, in 1900, he developed cerebral meningitis and became very sick. When it became clear he might die, his friend and apparent homosexual lover, Robbie Ross, who was with him, called for a Catholic priest. When the priest arrived, Wilde requested to be received into the Catholic Church. The priest later recounted how it happened. As the carriage rolled through the dark streets that wintry night, the sad story of Oscar Wilde was in part repeated to me. Robert Ross knelt by the bedside, assisting me as best he could while I administered conditional baptism, and afterwards answering the responses while I gave extreme unction to the man and recited the prayers for the dying. As the man was in semi-comatose condition, I did not venture to administer the holy viaticum. Still, I must add that he could be roused and was roused from this state in my presence. When roused, he gave signs of being inwardly conscious. Indeed, I was fully satisfied that he understood me when told that I was about to receive him into the Catholic Church and gave him the last sacraments. And when I repeated close to his ear the holy names, the acts of contrition, faith, hope, and charity, which acts of humble resignation to the will of God, he tried all through to say the words after me. The next day, Wilde died.
Wow.
Yeah, so he accepted the Catholic religion on his deathbed.
Crazy.
Okay, this last one, I don't believe, but it's very scandalous.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So it's Charles Darwin, and he is known as the father of evolution.
Oh, yeah.
As we know, evolution versus religion is a debate that has been around for a long time, and it's the creation-evolution controversy. Can you believe in evolution and also have religious faith?
Did the fish become the man?
Or did the chicken become the egg?
Yes, we're asking the hard-hitting questions.
Okay, well, Charles Darwin was baptized in the Anglican Church as well, just like Oscar Wilde, but attended a Unitarian church, which I guess both of those are branches of the Christian church. Later on in his life, he said that he was agnostic, and he explained this in a letter that I found on the darwinproject.ac.uk that says, quote, in my most extreme fluctuations, I have never been an atheist in the sense of denying the existence of a God. I think that generally, and more so as I grow older, but not always, that an agnostic would be the most correct description of my state of mind.
That's kind of where I relate to that, I feel like, where I don't have any strong beliefs. I think when I was younger, I was like dead set, like I am an atheist, I don't believe in anything. Mm-hmm. I would consider myself agnostic now, like, yeah, could be.
Right. I think same. And throughout Charles Darwin's life, he was pretty critical of the Bible and religions and like it being accurate history.
Well, I always thought he was an atheist because I just picture, probably because of the way society paints it out, or I never looked into it. So I just assumed always that he was probably like very anti. Right. You know?
Yeah, because you think evolution.
You think Darwinism.
Yeah. And not like this man created Earth and all of that. So he died in 1882 of heart failure at age 73, and he was buried in Westminster Abbey and had thousands attend his funeral. But after his death, all of these rumors started. These rumors were that he converted to Catholicism on his deathbed. So people allege that he sent letters to a divinity professor at some university asking him questions, which was untrue. They couldn't find any proof of that. And then like some preachers would hold sermons that he had converted, and it was this miraculous thing. And then there was this woman known as Lady Hope. Lady Hope was a devout evangelist, and she went to a like Catholic or Christian conference in the early 1900s and started talking to people who were there about how she met Charles Darwin and was in his home a few months prior to his death. and that he had completely converted to Catholicism, and he wanted her to come teach his staff at his house all about Jesus Christ. And this story caught on. Eventually she published it in this Baptist newspaper. So I have that story.
Okay.
The original text is, "It was one of those glorious autumn afternoons that we sometimes enjoy in England when I asked to go in and sit with the well-known Professor Charles Darwin. He was almost bedridden for some months before he died. I used to feel when I saw him that his fine presence would make a grand picture for our Royal Academy, but never did I think so more strongly than on this particular occasion. He was sitting up in bed wearing a soft embroidered dressing gown of rather a rich purple shade. Propped up by pillows, he was gazing out on a far-stretching scene of woods and cornfields, which glowed in the light of one of those marvelous sunsets which are the beauty of Kent and Surrey. His noble forehead and fine features seemed to be lit up with pleasure as I entered the room. He waved his hand toward the window as he pointed out the scene beyond, while in the other hand he held an open Bible, which he was always studying. 'What are you reading now?' I asked as I seated myself beside his bedside. 'Hebrews,' he answered. 'Still Hebrews, the royal book, I call it. Isn't it grand?' Then placing his fingers on certain passages, he commented on them. I made some allusions to the strong opinions expressed by many persons on the history of the creation, its grandeur, and then their treatment of the earlier chapters of the book of Genesis. He seemed greatly distressed. His fingers twitched nervously, and a look of agony came over his face as he said, 'I was a young man with unformed ideas. I threw out queries, suggestions, wondering all the time over everything. And to my astonishment, the ideas took like wildfire. People made a religion out of them.' Then he paused, and after a few more sentences on the holiness of God and the grandeur of this book, looking at the Bible, which he was holding tenderly all the time, he suddenly said, 'I have a summer house in the garden which holds about 30 people. It's over there,' pointing through the open window. 'I want you very much to speak there. I know you read the Bible in the villages. Tomorrow afternoon, I should have the staff on the place, some tenants, and a few of the neighbors to gather there. Will you speak to them?' 'What shall I speak about?' I asked. 'Jesus Christ,' he replied in a clear, emphatic voice, adding in a lower tone, 'and his salvation. Is it not the best theme? And then I want you to sing some hymns with them. You lead on your small instrument. Do you not?' The wonderful look of brightness and animation on his face as he said this I shall never forget, for he added, 'If you take the meeting at 3 o'clock, this window will be open, and you will know that I am joining in with the singing.' How I wished I could have made a picture of the fine old man and his beautiful surroundings on that memorable day." So she puts out this whole fucking story.
But he never announces this.
He never announced this. His family found out and were fucking pissed. They came out like she's lying. Like she was never there. He was absolutely agnostic until the day he died. And his daughter even wrote, "I was present at his deathbed. Lady Hope was not present during his last illness or any illness. He never recanted any of his scientific views either then or earlier." So there's like this whole debate. And if you look into her, she's just wacky. And it's like just the religious like conversion, you know?
That is bizarre.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
So Lady Hope's a liar. I believe that maybe they met and maybe he was reading the Bible, but I think that he probably is such a smart or was such a smart man that I would go read the Bible just because I would like to be informed. Like, it doesn't mean I'm switching over to any religion.
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, so there you have it.
Lady Hope, more like Lady Nope.
Lady Dope.
Lady, we're not buying it, lady.
No way.
God, crazy. Who knew?
Oh, there's a lot more famous people too that have converted over.
Interesting. And it's like, I just picture kind of like cinematically, like the person on the hospital bed with usually I feel like the Catholic, like the father standing in there, you know?
Oh, we had someone come read, I think, my grandparents their last rites, like a priest. And
listen, I'm a gambling man, okay? I'll take on every religion on my deathbed.
Yeah, I know.
You think it'll help? You have my permission. You can baptize me after, too. Do whatever you want.
Totally. Just send me somewhere good.
I told you, as long as I'm in that haunted mansion,
Yes, the
ballroom.
ballroom.
That's all I need.
Oh my God. Well,
To move into some obituaries.
yes, let's do it.
I think it's that time.
Who do you have?
Well, this is from 1922, and it says, "Stove explodes. Her burns fatal.
Ooh, my worst fear.
Wife of banker at Brewster, Minnesota, dies in Worthington Hospital." August 12th, Mrs. Frank D. Mitchell, wife of the cashier of the State Bank of Brewster, Minnesota, died at a hospital here Friday morning from burns received at her home Thursday when a gasoline stove exploded. But it gets a little bizarre. It says the cause of the explosion is unknown as Mrs. Mitchell was home alone at the time. After the explosion, she carried the stove out of the house in an effort to save the home.
What?
Then rolled herself in a blanket to extinguish the flames.
Wait, so she ran outside on fire with the stove?
With the stove.
Oh my God.
And put the stove outside because she didn't want her house to burn down.
How considerate.
And then put her own flames out. That is insane.
That is a superwoman.
Her hands, breast, and upper part of her legs were deeply burned while her face was also burned. Beside her husband, who was survived by 3 children, 2 sons, one a year and a half old, and the other 6, and a daughter of 10.
Whoa.
It just gave me a crazy visual because I'm like, did this woman...
run outside on fire with the stove?
Like, that was the first thought, like, better get this stove out of the house.
Oh, wow.
God.
Lord, well.
Who you got?
I have a very interesting one, and a lot of obituaries came up for this in the newspaper, and this is from 1981. I'm going to read the one from the Daily News, and it says, "Their love ends in grief." Dr. Norman Dannenberg was buried yesterday, leaving 2 grieving nephews, a grieving lover of 45 years, and the promise of more grief still, because he also left a $500,000 estate. The details of Dannenberg's will probably won't be revealed for several weeks because it must be probated. But courthouse observers familiar with the love story of Dannenberg, 79, and Lucia Matoli, 66, speculate that if indeed Matoli is his beneficiary, the document will be subjected to a protracted legal challenge. Dannenberg made headlines earlier this week when Manhattan Supreme Court Justice Arthur Bline refused to heed a nephew's complaint and continued to let Matoli visit the dying man in his hospital room. Matoli and nephew, Joseph, said deceitful and undue influence over his uncle and had designs on his money. But Bline ruled for Matoli, saying to deny this terminally ill man the solace and benefit of a lifetime companion would be the cruelest kind of treatment. According to court papers, the doctor and Matoli were lifetime companions. They met and fell in love in 1936 at Brooklyn Women's Hospital, where she had worked as a nurse. He's been the only man in my life since I was 21. Circumstances placed me in the position of a paramour, with all the unpleasant connotations with that word. But not only do we love each other, we always respect each other. The affair continued after Dannenberg's wife, Della, died in January 1979. A year later, after doctors had detected cancer in Dannenberg, they moved in together. After initial hospitalizations, Dannenberg lived with his nephew, but the doctor continued to pay Matoli's rent and give her $1,000 a month. Dannenberg died Wednesday night. Yesterday, about 85 relatives and friends, including Matoli, attended funeral services at the Riverside Memorial Chapel. Okay, so I read a few articles on this. So the Dannenberg guy, his nephew took Dannenberg's mistress of 45 years to court, saying she can't see him anymore because Dannenberg had a wife, but he was paying for the mistress and everything, and his wife had passed, and the Matoli lady was his mistress and had known him since she was 21, and he was dying, and she wanted to be with her lover.
What?
And so the courts ruled, yeah, you can see your lover.
God.
A 45-year affair.
Jesus.
Are you kidding me?
How do you even... The wife has to know.
Maybe she did. But she passed away in 1979, and then a year later he moved in with the mistress.
Shit.
Isn't that crazy? I can't believe there was like a court case about it.
It's insane.
She's not a criminal. Jeez. She's a criminal of love.
Just a criminal of the heart, baby.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, we have spun in our coffin.
We've bitched our obituaries.
I guess that means it's time for some dumb
Ass
criminals. I have a woman from Florida, and this is from ABC Action News. This happened in Indian Shores, Florida. A St. Petersburg woman was arrested for tampering with food. An arrest affidavit claims that she peed in an ice cream churning machine.
What?
And picked her nose and stuck her fingers in ice cream containers.
No.
It happened at Lulu's ice cream shop in Indian Shores. So if you've been there, you
Maybe had some pee.
maybe you don't know what was in that ice cream, honey. According to arrest documents, Jung Soon Whipshaw, who police officers says owns the adjoining Indian Shores Food Mart business next to the ice cream shop, was seen on video using the shared bathroom with the door open 5 different times in the month of June. So she's just a fucking weirdo. And the arrest report said she didn't wash her hands after using the restroom. And at least one of those bathroom breaks, she walked over to a freezer containing cartons of ice cream and shoved her hands into the ice cream containers.
What?
On another occasion, cameras captured her picking her nose and sticking her hands in the ice cream.
Ew.
And she was also seen on surveillance video spitting into the ice cream containers.
Oh, fuck.
On a final occasion, Whipshaw allegedly used the ice cream churning machine as a makeshift toilet, then emptied her urine into a sink used to rinse out ice cream equipment and bowls. All of the incidents were captured on video surveillance, and according to the West report, she caused $2,000 worth of damage to the products. I'm like, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about all these people that...
I know, the health of these people.
Paul Chaluli and his wife Beth, who own Lulu's ice cream shop, say they are devastated. It breaks my heart, Beth added. Paul Chaluli believes the dispute may have started over the ice cream shop's growing popularity and disputes over parking spaces in the lot the businesses share. We didn't even know she was mad, but I'm guessing it's from the parking and us being popular. And then he's like, we just want to go back to cream to the community.
Scooping some ice cream.
But I'm also like...
That's disgusting.
I don't know. I know it's fucked up because it's not their fault, but I don't think I'd ever go back.
I know.
I think I'd be like, that's the place.
I would sue the fuck out of that lady.
Uh-huh.
Like, you fucked our business up.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Arrest records show that Whipshaw bonded out of jail, but she did not answer the door at her home when ABC Action News crews knocked on Tuesday. We found her husband manning the food market on Tuesday, but he refused to comment on the arrest. I don't fucking know. I would be mortified if I was her. Imagine knowing a news crew is standing outside your house because you peed in ice cream.
Uh-huh.
Weirdo.
I hope we have a picture of her.
Oh, we have a picture of her.
Oh, she looks angry.
Pissed off.
Oh, no.
Who you got?
Oh, my God. I got a picture first. I need you to see this.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not the second floor.
Honey, the second floor. Okay, so our dumb criminal comes from Lewiston, PA. This happened just last Sunday, August 8th.
Oh, shit.
A 2006 gray Toyota Corolla crashed into the second story of a home.
How does that happen?
Well, Evan Miller, the 20-year-old driver who did this, was injured and taken to the hospital, but police who investigated determined that this crash was intentional.
Well, yeah, you ended up on the second floor. Well, the only thing I could think of is if you rolled off a freeway or something.
So there's little known about Evan and whether or not he knew the people living in the home, and thank God no one else was injured in the home. I guess one person was home, but they were on the first floor. But the fire company who investigated things said that they think he hit a tunnel carrying a stream that made him go airborne, but 2 stories airborne. So what I'm talking about...
Yeah, how did they get the car out?
Okay, so he was going 170 miles an hour about.
In his Toyota Corolla?
Yeah, honey.
That's crazy.
Who knew they could get up that high?
I don't know. Mine didn't have hubcaps when I had one.
It didn't?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to read to you from the Washington Post how they got this car down. It says firefighters used vehicle stabilization struts to help hold up the house. A towing company pulled the car off the second floor, and first responders stabilized the house and helped the homeowners put a tarp on the hole before storms hit the state.
God, wow.
It took 3 hours to get the car down, but who drives into the second floor of a house on purpose?
A maniac?
How? What the fuck? So it's ongoing. We'll see what happens.
God, crazy people, man.
Oh my God, just dumb.
Where did that take place?
In PA,
Oh, shit.
which is
Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania.
Oh. I just was thinking, I was reminiscing too. I'm like, remember our time in Philippi?
Remember? Oh my gosh. Well,
I guess that's it for the week. We gotta go get ready. We got some little behind the scenes stuff we're working on. We're gonna go film a Patreon right now, getting some of our props ready for our Los Angeles live show.
yes.
And we are so excited. So if you wanna watch us do some stuff, you can subscribe to our Patreon.
Patreon.com/cultleader. And then anything else you need to find out about us, obituarypodcast.com.
And that's it for this week. We'll see you next week with some more, maybe some coffin spinners.
Maybe some obituaries.
Oh, yeah, we like those. And, of course, we'll be back with some dumb
Ass
criminals.
criminals.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.